Little too much boob.
Good evening, Giants. Welcome to Wake Up with Giants TV. Have you ever wondered how to be a savage? Well, you gotta stick around because we got a savage show for you. Woo, woo, woo! Good evening, Giants. Welcome to Wake Up with Giants TV. I'm Ryan Morris, and as always, I'm here with your host, Nicholas T. Smith, in the same room. What? So we were just talking about being savage and being brave, and we couldn't think of anybody better and more savage and more brave than Amy.
Who else would you do that with at 10:30 at night?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like a little kid on Christmas morning right now.
I love it. I love it. We had to celebrate what you created today because I think it'll serve a lot of people. So we're going live with this now because it's impactful. I think people need to hear this. We go through these journeys, the Giants journeys, and we push, and it feels like there's no movement and it's actually going the other direction. It's going backward. And you had that experience today. And I'll let you kind of give some background on it because this morning when you woke up, you messaged about where you were at. So tell us that story. Tell us where you were at this morning, how much money you had in your account, all of it, like what you were feeling, all of it.
Okay.
You ready?
No pressure, ready to go.
Yep.
Well, what's really cool is my friend and twin Sam Castle is on, so I know I'm good. He is the best. So
Sam?
This morning I woke up and I had expected my GoFundMe money to come into my account. And I actually owed Sam $35, and because he helped me pay for the Motel 6 last night. And then I had $6 in my account. And I woke up expecting the money to be in my account, and I checked like 5 times. I was like, it's $6 every time. Like there's no like update with the number like growing. And like I was hoping. And so I messaged my support system and was like, I don't know if I can do this. I have $6 in my account. I have to leave the Motel 6 at 11 and I got it pushed back to 12. I don't know what to do and I'm tired of being in this pattern. And honestly, it felt like this pattern is kind of killing me.
Yeah. And this is a repeated pattern, right? This has happened again and again. And you get to a point where you cover the nut for a minute and then you're back to survival mode, right? You just go back into that mode. And this morning you got into that. So the $6 is sitting there and you went kind of dark, right? It's like you just spiraled down, right?
I went dark and there's evidence.
She's like, this face, I'm so tired.
I did a video in the SG4 group, our group coaching program. And I was laying on my bed.
Just to give a little hint of what that is, the SG group. So you're in there with 10 other people and we're going through the Giants journeys. And so, so you're a part of that group. So people know what that is.
Yeah. And I was like, I told Nick and I told Matt, and then I was like, I need brainstorming. I need encouragement. I need my people to remind me like what I'm here for. And so I was like laying on my bed in the Motel 6, like the phone's, above me. And I'm like, my face is like this because I'm upset and I have $6 in my account and I'm tired of going through this pattern and it hurts me. And I just need ideas, encouragement. And I cried. I was crying.
Form too. I can imagine. I can relate to this. Like there's this hope that some miracle is going to come through. There's this hope that something might happen to take you out of this pain and this suffering, right?
Yeah.
And it's not coming. And I sent you a couple of videos this morning,
Yep.
and one of them was no one is coming, right?
Yeah. No one's coming.
No one's
No
coming.
one's coming.
And
And
what did you do? Tell us about your day. I'll shut up, but I
okay.
probably won't.
So Matt Smith was like, "What's your next one step?" Just do one step. That's what he always asked me. Ask me, "What's your next soul nudge?" You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Take a shower." And so I took a shower, and when I was in the shower, it was like, "Bitch, you got so much to offer." Like, girl, you know so much stuff. Like, you can help people in so many different ways. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, when was the last time you talked about how you can help other people? Like, does anybody even know outside from your Being Brave journey and the Motel 6 and how up and down it's been? Have you reminded people like that you're here to help them? Like, that's why you're fucking here in the first place? All right, so my soul nudge didn't say all that.
Right.
It said you have so much to offer.
Hmm.
Remember, you have so much to offer. Share it. And initially I was like, okay, my brain kicks into gear and it's like, all right, well, we could do a pay what you can, but it's got to be at least $77 because Motel 6 day average is $77. And I like thought about that and sat with that and shared that. And then I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not going to do $77. You are going to offer it for what people can pay, and you are going to receive whatever you're going to receive, and you are going to help like the way you know you can help because you love to help people. You love to help people and you want to help them where they're at.
Mm.
And so I wrote a list of like all the different ways I could help, and I posted it. And then I thought, wait a minute, you can help right now. And people can just see in a video who you are and how you can help. So do a video about magnetizing your offer, do a video about parent and kid coaching, and do a video about being brave and just like be yourself and talk about yourself in the way that you are.
Yeah.
And so I did that throughout my day. And I gave one tool for parent and kid coaching and was like, if you need one tool, here's one tool that will shift things now. And if you would like more support, I'm doing this thing, this pay what you can session. I just want to help you change the dynamic in your home.
This is what people are not doing, right? People are not doing that. They're setting a fee. It's got to be this fee. If you can't pay that, I can't help you. I'm not going to serve you because I need this fee. And this is so unorthodox what you're offering, right?
Yeah. And I really remembered that you were like, you have said, you know, you can serve and serve and serve, and the money doesn't have to come through the direct channel that you've created, you know? So I'm going to serve and it's going to be pay what you can. And that can be $1, that can be $1,000, that can be $10,000, whatever you feel called to invest in yourself. And then I was like, oh, well, right. I can help people create a new dynamic around the thing that they're feeling challenged by, and that money can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the energy of doing what I do best, which is help people in a couple of different ways, and that's all I need to do.
And you eliminated the idea that I need to get money in exchange for that helping. Is that right?
Well, what I said was pay what you can.
Yeah. Okay.
And I wrote, this is what I usually get paid $197 or more for this per hour. The suggested donation is 77, but you are welcome to pay more or less depending upon what feels good to you.
Yeah.
And what people don't know is that if someone had come to me in my DMs and said, I don't have anything to offer you, I still would have met with them and served them because they deserve it. And I know what that feels like. And honestly, I've rarely asked for anything from anyone. And there's just this space where you know you need something, but you're afraid to ask, so there are a couple of people I also reached out to and said, hey, this is what I'm sharing. If this interests you, let me know. And I also went to a couple of key friends that I have and said, hey, I'm doing this thing. If you're interested, cool. If you know anyone that's interested, send them my way. I'm here for them. I'm here to help. I have all of this time, all this week, and all I want to do is help. And yeah, and then people started reaching out. I did the video about the parent and kid coaching, and then I did a video about magnetizing your offer and learning your client's language. And I gave them like exactly what I would give them if they were my paying client. I gave them the very first step in
Let,
what would be the foundation to help them. So in
let,
every instance, I'm giving you something that you could take and run with, and it would help you. You don't need to give.
let me ask you something. So you sent me a message earlier too about words. Can you speak to that?
Oh yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
for, I can just like go on a tangent. So please,
Yeah.
thank you for interjecting. Yeah. So now that I know Nick Smith and his love of words, I've started to get more curious about words myself. And I said this in my podcast, and then I followed through on it today. I was like, I wonder what the etymology of the word brave is. And I thought, then I was like, oh, I should have Nick on the show so he can talk about it. And then I was like, fuck that. Like today, I was like, why did I say that? I could just fucking look it up myself. So I did, and I sent it to him. And my eyes set on the word savage, but I didn't say anything to Nick about that. I just sent it to him, and he was like, you're savage. That's what you are. You're savage. And I was like, that's the same word that I was saying. And then I was like, I need to do a savage photo shoot. And I like totally got into the energy of, being savage in the way that I show up over and over and over and over and over again, in that brave way that doesn't always feel comfortable. Mostly it never feels comfortable, but I do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm determined, like as nervous and doubt filled that I can be, like I'm fucking determined to reach my dreams and more. And I want to be the testimonial through my sharing, through my being honest of all of the different steps that I've been through, that I am a regular human. It's not magically like a magic wand has not been waved over my head. And if I can do it, you can do it. That's the purpose of this, because we're all in this together.
The beauty that I see in this is when you're part of my program is the activity. And I learned this from Joe Perone, is the activity is the payment. The activity is the payment. And ever since you started and Grant. Oh,
Watty.
And Grant Watty. I thought you said rant.
And ranting.
And rant.
He likes to rant.
I like to rant.
I also like to rant. So we'll have a rant off sometime.
We should have a rant off. But the activity is the payment. The activity is the payment, because for some people, money isn't that much of a push. It doesn't get them to move. And what I've seen since you started this program is you have been relentless and savage in your approach to creating something in your life different, because you're at this point that your life has been the same for so long. You've lived it unconsciously, automatically. And then when you become aware of it, there's all these judgments that come up. So you see it in the 12 journeys as we go through these. But here we are this morning, you wake up and you're in that energy of judgment and doubt and grief and all the stuff that we talk about. And you get to the point that you're like, I got to do something. Nobody's coming. I'm still breathing. And I sent you that the show. What is it? Goggins. It was David Goggins and then Jocko Willink. I sent you another video on that. And Jocko Willink says, good, right? Good. You're struggling, you're suffering. Good. Right. And you got savage today. You got savage. And at the end of the day today, what did you create by the end of the day today?
I created $691.
Jeez.
I 100x'd my money today.
Yeah. In a day. This is going from hopelessness,
Yeah.
sadness, a feeling of defeat, going
Yeah.
for a walk because you don't know what to do. You take a shower. In the shower, you're like, you got to do something. You got to do something, right? And you start doing something, one thing, like Matt said, right? You start doing one thing and then you do another and you do another and you take the equation of money out of it. You just start serving people. You start giving back. And in a day, you created $691 so far.
What shifted for you too? You mentioned that these guys had talked to you, and then it shifted.
What shifted to me in the shower, literally right after I reached out, and the one step that Matt was like, what is your next step? What is your next one baby step? He was like, you've done this before. You're a powerful creator. He didn't say what the fuck, Amy, because he would I was like that, because I sent him crying audios like
So it
I'm
was
so
the,
upset.
so it's
Yeah.
the leaning on your experience, right? Like I mean, I sent you a message too, talking about being a desperate salesperson, right?
Yes.
You can smell it a mile away. I'm in sales, and so when people come in to buy something and the person desperately needs a sale to survive,
Yes.
it's like this really bad odor. People don't
Yes.
want to be around it. But when
Yes.
what you did shift was you started taking those steps and then sharing your vision, and then leaning on your experience.
Yes.
And I know a lot of stuff. Well, it was a lot of shit, is what you said. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of shit.
I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm forgetting, like, I know so much stuff. I can help people in so many different ways. Like, I've forgotten that I can fucking help people, and that's what I'm here for. Like, I took back the control, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you keep forgetting this. And then I just took action, and I love sharing what I know in ways that are simple, easy to consume, and fast actionable. And so I gave the tool that I know that for in the different areas that I'm a genius, I gave the tool that you could use to help shift now. Not from a place of like, and if I say this, then they're going to give me a bunch of money and like all of that. It wasn't like that at all. It was just like, help. You know how good you feel when you help people. You know some stuff like who is not being helped because you're not showing up.
Yes.
You know? And I just felt like a creator, and I was
How
creating.
interesting. Yeah, like the forgetting that happens in down energy, the forgetting of who you are and what you know and what you can do for other people. This is the key. What you did for other people is what created today, because you took out the idea that you needed to take care of Amy. You started looking, what can I do for others? And that's one of the biggest parts of the Giants journey. When we get into that 12th journey of giving back, it's that legacy. It's the mark you're going to leave on the world. That's what matters. And that's what you took on today. And you were impacted because of it.
And I looked at the time. So the very first post that I did about all the different ways I could help, I was paid $200 within 15 minutes of posting that. And I was like, holy crap. Like, oh shit, and then it just kept happening. It just kept happening. I was doing a video and $97 came in. And then I talked to that person and she's like, actually, I want 2 sessions. So I'm going to pay you more money. These are all people that I have had relationships with and all of that online on social media for years.
Yeah.
I have shown up in my present journey for years. So I talked to somebody before today that I've never spoken to, but we've been, Facebook acquaintances for all that time. Turns out I gave an assignment to one of our mutual friends who I'm having a session with tomorrow, and her doing her homework. She sent some stuff to this person, and this person's like, oh my gosh, I want to sign up for a session too.
Huh.
So there was a bit of a domino effect. And then a friend of mine from Newport, Rhode Island, that I haven't talked to since I left there in 2014, reached out for a wealth and energy healing session right before I got on the call with you. So what the reason that I'm saying this is these are people that I've been connected to. I've been honest about my journey this whole time. I've been in integrity with who I am, moment to moment to moment, even if that's shifted over time.
Yeah. I mean,
And
if can we talk about some of that? I mean, you tell me if I'm going too far with this. You've been at times living in your car, right? To go into a Motel 6, to go into the next place that you could find, to just finding ways every day and just feeling frustrated because it's day after day you're putting energy into it. And it doesn't feel like there's any movement, but it's all laid the foundation for what you did today. You served people. You serve people. Look at the fun that you're having in serving people. We get so hung up on ourselves and how I'm sad and I need help and I need somebody to come pull me out of this. And the very person that we're waiting on to rescue us is the person saying that right here. And you woke up to that today and you had an awakening, and look what happened. $6 in your account defeated this morning. Defeated. And what I'd love for you to share is your vision. Now, the vision may happen right now, or it may happen 10 years down the road, but you have a vision for yourself. And are you okay sharing that?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to. I want to help 1 million or more people be brave and show up for the life that they really desire rather than settling for the life that they currently have. My belief is that when we show up for ourselves in honesty, self-respect, love, and we honor the dreams that we've been given, and we work through all the shit that says we can't have it, then we are owning our power. We're aligning with what is meant for us, and in doing so, impacting every single person that we come in contact to every single day. Like, you being more you benefits the fucking world. And we've been conditioned to stay small and to think, oh, well, that's not for me, but that's probably for everybody else, but not for me. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. And it's really important that I live my life in alignment with that. Even on the day when I wake up and have $6 in my account, past me would have hidden. Past me would have like gotten a job at fucking McDonald's. Like, past me would have gotten 5 jobs, like, to do that. I would have thought, oh, this isn't for me, and back to the hustle and grind.
But
And
you've also created on top of this. I mean, you're willing to do whatever it takes to create stability in your life. You created a job while you're going through this journey that starts in a week, right? Roughly.
It was supposed to start today.
Okay.
But they thought that it would be great if it started today, but they need to process my fingerprint stuff and my medical stuff. So
okay.
It will probably start next Monday. So this whole week I'm dedicating to opening up my schedule to everyone and just having the fucking best time ever.
Now, did you have to give up your dream to get the job, and that made you give up on your vision?
No. And I've been resistant to getting a full-time job for quite a while because that was the meaning I was giving to it. I was making it this either or scenario.
Yeah.
Really, it can be both, and it's important for me to know that at every moment I have a choice, and I can have a shit ton of fun in this school job and help a lot of people just by being myself. And I was really afraid that I'd go back to past patterns that I've had when I was a teacher, and that would bring back all the old behaviors. Because I think we have fears like that when we have trauma around an environment and a situation.
Yeah.
And I finally had to step into my power in that and be like, bitch, you have been through so much shit
How you talk?
I
and
do. Yeah.
know how to set boundaries, and you can set compassionate, kind boundaries with yourself and with others. You know what is yours, you know what is not yours, and you get to be that in an environment that is super, super toxic, but that toxicity is not for you. You don't have to be influenced by that at all. In fact, your presence and your beingness can help every single person in that school. And so that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I love this. Look at what Sam said. I love that. Gives me a different perspective of where I'm at with my job. I can do both, have fun while I'm there, and still create what I want. We work and we create our vision. We both work full-time jobs and we create our vision. There is no letting go of the vision just because we have a job. The job actually creates stability and foundation for us so that we can do all the stuff that we want to do for fun.
Yeah. I decided that the most self-loving thing I could do for myself and my little baby nervous system
Yeah.
that needs to be reminded that I've got its back and that
Yeah.
it isn't an oversensitive part of me. I had to really remind myself that it's self-loving, that it is the most loving thing I can do to give myself some kind of consistent income. And on top of that, I feel like what I showed myself today was that it can be easy and it can be fun
Yeah.
to do this and let it flow, especially like I can only imagine what kind of how the depth to which I can help others when I feel safe and I have my own home, which PS I found a welcome mat that says my nest on it, which goes to something that Nick talked about.
Yeah. Do you want to share that?
Yes. So in our last coaching session last week, Nick was speaking to the fact that for me specifically, what it would feel like and what it would be like to have like a nest, to see my home, to see my home. Oh, I talked to Dorothy Inez today. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Um, when that if I could see my next home, that
Yeah.
could be my dream home that I'm trying to raise $6,000 for by tomorrow. Woo! You can help me if you want. And or a bridge apartment, a bridge place that I've also found that is more within the means of the being provided for by the full-time job. But
Yeah.
to have the nest, someplace I can, like your metaphor or analogy, I can never remember which one is which.
They're
It
both
is
the same. Yeah.
okay. It's like someplace where I can like flutter out to here and then flutter back. He didn't
Yeah.
say flutter. That's my interpretation.
No, I like it. Yeah.
Flutter out over here and then I can come back to my nest. But
Yeah.
in each instance, I have a home base. I have a place where I feel safe. I have a place that I can create as my own and create as my sanctuary. And so I can do whatever I want. And I always have a nest to come back to. And that really stuck with me. And when I went and I saw this amazing dream condo yesterday with like massive palms and like white everywhere, and so much of like my dream list of places of what I wanted was there. I went and I was like, oh, I could feel myself here. And I'm like, I have no idea how this fucking going to happen, but let me start picking out furniture and stuff for my place. So I went on to Target, the Target app, and I was going through welcome mats and I was like, oh, there's feathers. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And then I found feathers with hearts and it says your nest on it. And I was like, I'm buying that as soon as I have the money. So
Yeah.
I'm committing to buying that in representation of my commitment to creating a nest for myself.
You
that
started
flitter
$6.
out and
$6
flitter out.
this morning, right? Just one more time. Just want to clarify.
So this
$8.
morning, I had $6 in my bank account. I
And then-
owed Sam Castle $35. So
So
I
how
really had
much is it?
negative.
What do you have? What do you have now?
and I have $691 in my account the last time I checked. I bet there could be more in it right now.
More, because I'd sent over I want to do a session, so I sent you over a little bit. So now you have $768.
Ah!
You have a little bit of Amy B time to talk savagely with.
Well, here's the beauty of this. If that were calculated out as a job, right? If you were to create $700 a day, right? That's over $200,000 a year, right? That it's not about the money. It's how you showed up today from a situation that many of us experience, where we feel really down and out. We feel defeated. We feel like there's no hope. We're hoping for rescue. We're hoping that some miracle comes in, but we're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. And it doesn't come because nobody's coming to get us. Nobody's coming to rescue us. And you got into this activity of just taking action, massive action, and you had fun doing it today. And yeah, like Hugh said, no more wishful thinking. You went out and created. Faith is like that action step. You went out and created this day. You created this today. And that's what I want to share with everybody. That's what we want to share, is that this was a creation, because you had a choice to make. You could have stayed defeated. You could have stayed down and out and had this story that it just doesn't work for me, which some people do.
Which I have had, I have had that story.
Yeah.
I believe that I broke it today, 100%, smashed it into a million pieces, or maybe 691 pieces.
It's or 768 pieces,
Yeah.
right?
Or 768 pieces.
Yeah, you're amazing. It's inspiring, and it's a reminder that you are not broken. If people could hear that tonight, you are not broken. We have this measurement that we look out, and we want to look and compare ourselves to what we think other people are experiencing. And when we measure ourselves against that and we feel broken or mentally ill or whatever we're feeling, right? But it's not true. It's all happening right inside of here. And you went out and you got conscious and you got aware and you let go of your judgments and you let go of your grief and you honored your grief and you found love for your grief. And you had gratitude and acceptance for what was, and you held on to your vision. You realigned with your vision, and you stepped into the unknown. You had no way of knowing how this would play out today. You just knew you were going to act on anything that came. And here you are now sharing, giving back. These are the journeys. These are what we teach, the 12 journeys. You surrendered the path. You nurtured whatever came. You lived every single one of those 12 journeys today.
And can I tell you something else
that
I just realized? So I gave myself a deadline, like a timeline at 11 o'clock, and I got an extension till noon to stay here. That was a step in asking for what I needed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need another hour because I'm slow. I can be slow in the morning. And at 11 o'clock, I decided I wasn't going to pack up my stuff. I was going to give myself half an hour to show up, write a post, start sharing about what I was doing and what my intention was. And I said, if by 11:45 I don't have the money, then I'll pack up, because it really will only take me 15 minutes to toss everything in my car.
Yeah. Man.
By 11:42, I had that $200. I'm just remembering this now because I was like, okay, like I got till 12. What if I don't have to pack up my stuff? What if I get to stay here? Okay, take action for half an hour and then take a break.
Can you see how easily that thought could have been, there's nothing I can do? That thought could have been, I have no say in this. That thought could have been, this is a failure. I'm in my car tonight, right? That thought could have been that. But you said, I'll give myself a half hour. I'll give myself 45 minutes. It created from your activity. There's no explaining this. Your activity, your trust, your commitment to do something created all of this. Like, it's phenomenal.
Well, and like, I even thought for a second, I started packing my stuff up. Like the bag of like my shower stuff was like in there and ready. And then I was like, hold on, like something like caused me to have pause. And I was like, well, someone that's leaving this room would be packing up now. What can I do? And that's when I was like, all right, give yourself 30 minutes. And I feel like all of this response is in, I need to acknowledge that I have incredible support. I have people that will listen to me cry, that will listen to me say, I'm tired. I'm so tired of this pattern. This pattern is killing me, and won't for a second feed into my shit and at the same time say, it's all valid.
Great story.
Yeah. It is
And-
all valid.
And holding the belief that I am not this shit story that I'm telling myself, that I am not the shit story that I'm feeling right now. And remind me gently, because I'm super sensitive. So if somebody was like, bitch, get up, like I'm the only one that can say that to myself. No one else can.
Glad I didn't say that.
I'll throat punch you, you know? I'm the only one that can talk to me like that. Like,
we will do that,
like,
Dorothy Inez. Yeah.
It takes, for me, it takes a balance in the kind of support that I can receive, and that is super effective for me. And I feel that you and Ryan and Matt, Joe, like all represent that balance that I didn't know was even a thing. You know, like I didn't know that existed until I met all of you guys. And now I got to receive that support. And in receiving that support, in, you know, in addition to my life experience and the tools that I've been using, I just felt like it all went, and it all came together today. Today was my day.
Beautiful.
Today was the first day of the rest of my life. It's badass. And I can create a crap ton of money just from helping people.
Let me ask you this. So somebody's watching this. They're in that space you were this morning, $6 in their account, metaphorically for them, whatever it is for them, they're in that space. You get a chance to coach them right now on where they're at. Like, what would you share with them after what you've experienced today that would help them to move through that?
I would say you've forgotten. You've forgotten how powerful you are. You've forgotten how brave you are. You've forgotten how much you know. You forgot how much you care. You forgot how much you help others when you show up as you. I would say, what is your next soul nudge? Just the babyest of baby steps that you can get yourself to do, and take that action fast. And then keep asking yourself, what's the next soul nudge? What's the next soul nudge? And if you need to reach out to someone and cry and say how you're feeling, I went on a walk and I cried and I talked and I left Nick Smith a message. The walking helped me move the emotion, because I know that about myself. If I stay laying in my bed, or, you know, if I choose to avoid what's happening right now, like binge watching Alias like I'm doing right now, for fun, when I'm done taking action for the day. But I could also have used that as a way to avoid what's happening now, what I'm feeling now. So I knew, walk the dog, talk while you're walking. For me, that's also, I'm processing and I'm moving the energy, feel the feelings that I'm having in the moment. And then I literally, okay, so I'll give you a rundown of the message that I sent Nick this morning. It was laughing at myself because I had just walked a few blocks away from the Motel 6, and kind of like where like all the hotels are, it can be a little skeezy and stuff. It's like off of a highway and it's loud, and you know,
you can hear the trucks and the motorcycles in the background.
I was walking on the side of, like, not on the side of the highway, the little road that's parallel to the massive 6-lane road that's like, whoa, roaring with cars. And I'm like, I'm going to speak up a little bit because there's a highway right next to me. I won't be And I'm not exaggerating. This is exactly what I said. And I'm walking, and Roxy's cute, and that helps, and I'm talking, and that helps, and it's kind of ridiculous, and that helps me laugh at myself. And I walk a couple blocks away, not knowing what's gonna be next, and there's this beautiful, well manicured park with these massively big trees and this playground. In fact, I did a video, my last video of today, about the tree and danger falling cones. If you're curious about that, you can watch the video. It's ridiculous, and there's kids involved who pet Roxy, and I'm all over the place, but it's me being me. And so I'm walking, and I'm like, Motel 6, and then I start laughing, and I'm like, Nick, because it's still loud because of the highway. I'm like, Nick, I just experienced a metaphor for life. I just walked a couple of blocks from the Motel 6, and now there's this beautiful neighborhood and like a beautiful park. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like today.
That was a prediction of the day. Yeah,
it was foreshadowing. It really was like today.
Yeah.
Fuck, that is so fucking amazing. I just blew my own mind.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
We shared a video today on prospection, right? Reminiscing is when you go back and you reminisce and you relive the past and your favorite parts of the past. And I shared a video inside of SG and inside of our group about prospection, right? Which is reminiscing forward. And it was a TEDx talk about reminiscing about things that haven't happened yet, right? And you create your vision in such a way that you see it so clearly that you're having memories and reminiscing about something that hasn't even occurred in your life. And you're holding on to this vision and you're reminiscing about that experience that hasn't occurred in reality yet. And you're out there just creating it. And that foreshadowing of the park was part of that reminiscing, that prospection, right?
And I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
But it like hit me, and I noticed it. And I was continuing to walk Roxy, and there have been opportunities with strangers wherever I go. Like wherever I go, there's a connection made. And to me, making a connection with someone else is having a conversation, being present and enjoying it. But it's also knowing that that person represents every single person that person knows. So if I was to say, which I did today, there was a dude whose little fluffy dog ran up to the fence and was like, rah, 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 and it was like little and cute. And like, I was like, oh, you're good at protecting your house. And the dog dad was like, yeah, so tough. And I was like, can I ask you a question or something like that? Not so MLM-y. Can I ask you a question? Or like sign this petition-y.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Ma'am, can I ask you a question? No, you may not. I know what you're doing. No, I said, hey, like, I'm just walking around. Do you know of anybody in town that is renting a room or renting their home? And he was apparently on a Zoom meeting, but he put it on pause and was like, actually, 3 of my friends, and he told me this story about it being like a really hard market and all that stuff. And for a second I felt down, but then I was like, I just talked to a random dude.
Yeah.
Who knows if I'll see that guy again? Who knows if he'll like drive past me tomorrow while I'm walking Roxy and be like, hey, you girl that's looking for a place. Like, you just never know.
You know what it reminds me of?
Girl that's looking for a place. That's your new name.
Watch, that's gonna happen tomorrow.
It reminds me of Zelda, like the game Zelda. My kids will play Zelda, and they wander around. There's these characters, and they'll go up to the character, and the character will start talking and give vital information for the game, right? But you never know if you don't approach the character. And one day my son, out of the blue, he says, hey, Dad, do you know what sondering is? And I said, I have no idea. And he says, sondering is that every person you meet has a life as complex as yours. And he's 15 years old when he shares this. 15 years old, knows about sondering, right?
Marco's a smart man.
So here you are sondering and basically going around these characters for your life, that if you never opened your mouth or talked to them, you never would get this information. If you didn't share your vision, they would never know. about your vision, and they might have vital information that could help you, and they may not. There was a lady the other day you talked about that her dog came up and sat by you and wouldn't go away, right?
Roxy got a boyfriend for
Yeah.
an hour, so I was obsessed with her and me, of course. And he wouldn't move. I literally had gone on a walk, and I was at the Airbnb, and which is in Escondido. There's beautiful forest, and there's like just gorgeous gated community that I saw from over the wall, peeking over. And walking around like the fields, there's tons of birds and all that. And when I'm walking Roxy, like that is my time to remind myself to feel my feet in my shoes, to look at the birds. I literally talk to Roxy probably the whole time, and I'm like, Rox, did you see those cute little birds? I think they're playing. Or, oh my God, there's 2 hummingbirds. Like, because hummingbirds is one of my spirit animals, one of my next tattoos, and then Giants in the Smalls tattoo, of course.
Yeah.
And I was walking, and I was like, God, what the fuck? Like, seriously, what the fuck? Like, help me. And like, my friend Sylvia is my personal energy healer, and she's like, ask for it to be Sylvia clear, like so clear that you could not know that it is a sign of your next step. And so I'm like, I just need it Sylvia clear, like now would be good, now-ish would be great. And like, I'm looking around, and I'm looking at looking at the houses, walking places I haven't walked before, like looking for rent signs, or looking at the numbers of the houses. I saw 714 and 741. So like when I went home, I like looked it up. Keep your thoughts positive. Like your dreams are on its way. Yay! And where is it? Like, come on.
Yeah.
So we turn a corner, and there's this little floofy little poodly dog, and he's not on a leash, and his who I thought was his owner had 2 other dogs on a leash, and she's like, Moose, like come on, and Moose is not coming. And we're walking, and the dog sits down, won't move, and like waits for us to come up.
He was probably thinking, I'm not a moose, I'm a poodly dog.
Right, I'm a poodly poodle, damn it. Stop calling me a moose.
Yeah.
And he's like, bitch, I'm a poodly poodle. I am not a moose.
You see horns up here? You see this going on? I'm a poodly dog.
It's late night.
Way more cute than a moose. Bitch. I like adding bitch to everything. It's hilarious. It makes everything funny. So he's sitting there. It's weird. And she's calling him. And I'm like, look, we're going that way too. He'll follow us. It's cool. So he's like following Roxy, but he's actually healing to me. And because Roxy is in front of me, and he's healing to me. And I'm like, this is interesting, but this isn't a surprise. Children, animals, hello. Like, you are part of me. Like, you are welcome always. And he starts running around and has his little zoomies, like, look at me, all this stuff. And so I start talking to this woman. Her name is Shen. She's from China. She's been in San Diego for 8 years. And, she's telling me all this. She's actually babysitting Moose, and he's super high maintenance and can't eat anything that isn't on his special diet list. And I'm like, oh, man, don't you just want to give him a cookie? She's like, no, because I don't want to have to clean up after him. And I'm like, good point. And so I'm just telling her, like, oh, hey, like, what's the neighborhood like? Like, give me the 411 and everything. And I told her my story. I'm at this Airbnb. Like, this is a beautiful area. It's so peaceful. And she was like, oh, well, you could stay with me. She's like, you seem like a safe person. And I was like, I am, and here's my name and my cell phone number. Go ahead and find me online. I have a podcast. I do all this different stuff. Like, check me out. What you see is real, and I am safe. But don't just say that I'm safe and then welcome a stranger. Whoops. Welcome a stranger.
I knocked it over. Right.
Didn't break, so we're good.
Yeah.
So, like, that happened. And I was like, that's how open I need to be. Like, that's how myself I need to be. if I hadn't like shared and shared and shared and shared and shared the journey as it's been unfolding, whether I've had shame and self-judgment and speaking to that and all that, I wouldn't have gotten to this place where I could tell this stranger,
Yeah.
no, it is just me. Because people are like, oh, is somebody following you? Like a husband or something? And I'm like, no. Like, your family? No. Do you know anybody in the area? I mean, I made a couple friends. Do you want to be my second friend? I said this. I was like, would you like to be friend number 2? And then I thought number 2. Because I'm immature. And yeah, I gave her my number and all of that stuff. And it opened me up to, while it didn't come through, like the next day I checked in with her and she just didn't feel like she went back to her home and was like, my space is pretty small and I have 2 dogs. Am I really ready to offer a person and their dog a space? Which I appreciate, because don't give permission for something that you're going to say no for later. Like, know that it's a hell yes, or let me move on, you know? And so I respect that person. And she was like, do you still want to be friends? And I'm like, yes. And so we set up to do something later this week.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Just so you know, like, this is how I roll and this is how I make friends, because I will be the person that says, hey, want to be friends? And no one has ever said no. Just for all those people out there think making friends is hard. You can just ask. People want more friends. People want more connection. Like, they're dying for it, actually. And I'm not always talking this much when I'm with my friends. I also can listen, but I do interject because I'm funny and fun.
That's amazing.
This was the best episode we've ever had at 11:21 p.m. Mountain Time.
Might be the first too.
Yeah.
Is Roxy right there with you?
She always is. She always is. And, I just have to say, like, Ryan and Nick called me like an hour ago on video chat, and I like thought it was just a regular audio chat, but it was video. And I was on my bed in the dark, binge watching Aliens. That's what I do. That's what I do now. And I turn on the lights.
Dorothy Inez, go to bed.
Really late there.
I know. It's
like
12:30 where she's at.
Whatever, Dorothy Inez, stay up.
Binge watch Alias or Wake Up with Giants.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, what you guys helped me see, because Nick and Ryan were so excited. It was like, oh my God, I need to take this way more seriously than I am. This is random. This is exciting. And like talking with you guys and sharing like the whole thing just made it a gazillion times better. So like this level of appreciation and all of that, it's meant to be shared.
Yeah.
People that you trust and you love, and their celebration is your celebration. So thank you for that, you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I just hear so many things in this, like your vision. You're constantly out there sharing your vision.
Oh, I totally forgot to share my whole vision too.
Well,
damn, I interrupted myself. It's myself.
Yeah. She's like, get up now, go to bed.
Now go to bed. I'm confused.
Dorothy Inez was echoing something I said to myself.
Well, here's what I'd invite on the vision is that people come, they either DM you and they get to hear it directly from you, or they come to your wall and you have it posted there and they get to see it there from you, because you have a vision and you're relentless in this vision, and it's beautiful. And so I think people do need to hear that. Good night, Dorothy Inez. Thank you. We'll connect soon. She's been at the Prince Concerts Fest. I don't know what it's called, for the last 4 days.
Partying her ass off.
Partying her ass off, which is good.
It is so
the beauty of all of this that I hear is sometimes we think of a worthiness issue. Am I worthy to receive this stuff? It's none of that. Like you went out and acted on this. You went out and created this. anybody watching this could create that, right?
Yeah.
Anybody watching could, in their own way. It could deal with money, relationship, connection, serving people in any form. You can create that.
Yes. Like, I know, like, I got super excited and then started to make this all about me for many minutes, but okay, a lot of minutes, and I enjoyed all of it. However, the reason that we're sharing this is because if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And if you can just do the next soul nudge, if you can express all of the feelings and not hide from them, you can actually make the way, clear the space for you to then take action from a really clean place of, I'm a creator, I have something to give, I can help. And when I got into that place of, gosh, I can help in so many different ways, like, why am I not talking about that?
Yeah.
It really lit a fire under me to just help. And now I didn't wait. I did it now, and then I did it now again, and then I did it now again, and you can do that too.
Yeah. And small steps create complexity. They create everything that we see. So you don't have to do big things. You can do small steps. What's your next small soul nudge, right? Just one simple thing.
Yeah.
That's enough to get you moving. Even, we learned from neurobiology that looking left to right mimics walking. It mimics movement. And that's why EMDR therapy is so effective, is because it mimics walking. And so just get some kind of movement going. Even if you can't get out of bed and walk, move your eyes, do something.
Turn on that music and shake your little booty in your bed.
You shake your little booty in your bed.
Yeah. Or even just shaking your body. Like, shaking is a thing.
Yeah.
And can get your energy to move. Because when you're in freeze mode, you don't feel like you can move. So, like, move your hands. Move your head.
Yeah.
Smile, even if you don't feel like smiling, because that actually does some sciencey things that I'm sure Nick can tell you about.
If you want to know the nerdy stuff, we'll talk about it. But we'll do that another show too. You just know it works. It just works.
Yeah.
So this is phenomenal. I'm glad we captured this. I'm glad we captured it while it's fresh. Just a beautiful thing. I hope it inspires somebody that's watching that you can do this too in your own way. Nick knowledge, right? If you want some Nick knowledge, DM me and I'll drop some bombs on you.
He's got a lot of them.
You will fall asleep, I promise.
No. You'll just become more curious.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're looking up etymology.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't know who you're talking about.
Is this contagious?
It is contagious.
Hit me.
Amazing. Anything else you want to share?
Who you are is important.
Hmm.
Who you are matters. I don't care what your brain is telling you. And one little step and one little belief in yourself and one little action can shift everything.
Hmm.
And you're loved. If we can do it, the three of us can do it, and so can you.
I love it. That's a great way to end the show.
It's beautiful.
Okay, guys, have a great night. Make it I'll hit that too soon.
Love you too.
We'll get one more comment in there. Dude, we love you guys.
Good night,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
They all saw me go.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see you again.